What up? This Ace OG, back into the video. So the title of this video is gonna be, most black people have a scarcity mindset. So admin notes, thanks again to all subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing the video out. Do leverage, better yourselves. Once again, I'm out here working out. Been working out with this new vest for a minute here. It's called Rivali. So go ahead and go to the description, and I have a link to my Amazon store where you can click on the link and you can actually purchase this vest if you want it. The vest is awesome. Has my phone here along with a pouch for cards. Has, of course, another pouch here for the water bottle. The water bottle actually comes with it, so I think it's pretty cool. Got a zipper compartment right here that I have my key in, my key fob to my car, and then also right here I keep my iPod case in here. Also, there's like a webbing in the back, so if you wanted to, like, I don't know, tie off a towel in your back, just in case you're gonna sweat a lot of water, you can do that. What else? So this button right here actually has Velcro around it. So if the button fails, or for some crazy reason, like it pops off, the Velcro is still here. So it's like two-factor security when it comes to this thing staying in place, because once this fails, of course, it's gonna start dropping. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Rivali vest. So like I said, go to the description, click on the link, and purchase the order today, and it will be a discount. Will be a discount to it. Maybe let's get into it. So, most black people have a scarcity mindset. I think that any black person that has been raised in the hood, and of course I do understand that other ethnic groups have been raised in the hood as well. I'm just focused on black people right now, right? But if you want to join in because you was raised in the hood, then by all means, I'm not going to actually discriminate against somebody actually relating to this, right? But anybody that's been raised in the hood understands this concept. I'm pretty sure that anybody just like myself that was raised by a single mother in the hood watched their mom struggle, watched their mom penny pinch for money, never wanted to give any money to anybody, always worried about money, always worried about things breaking. It was total fear and chaos almost the whole time, right? Only time that things actually got better was when tax season came, which is crazy. And of course, me being young, I didn't understand, that concept when it came to, okay, my mom files taxes, and then she gets this big return back. And of course, I can go into, the ins and outs as far as how that works. But basically, in a nutshell, when it comes to taxes, that's really pretty much your money. So you can always manipulate your taxes depending on if you have dependents, to get your money up front, so you don't have a whole huge paycheck coming at the end of the year. You can just get your money up front throughout the year. But some folks like that big check at the beginning of the next year. That's how. Truth be told, that's a scarcity mindset too, because actually that's how a lot of black folks pay their bills. They'll put themselves in debt throughout the year, but they know, based off of history and based off of how many dependents they have, they're going to get a huge paycheck come January, February time frame when they file their taxes. So they use that money to pay off whatever they put themselves in debt with, or they mess around and they spend that check. So now they put themselves in more debt. And the more debt you put yourself in, the more of a scarcity mindset you're going to have. I said before in the previous video that when I was growing up, if I saw anybody or knew anybody that lived in a home, a single family home, I thought they was rich, right? Because I didn't see none of my family in a house at all, period. I didn't understand the concept of maybe, that family was renting the house out instead of paying a mortgage and they owned the house. I didn't understand the concept of duplexes, all those things, right? All I knew is that this person was not living in the projects like I was. They were not living in the slums. So because they had a single family home with a backyard, and they could walk down the street without getting shot or robbed, right? I thought they was rich. And come to find out, some of these families was still on food stamps. My mom was getting more government assistance to pay for stuff more than they were, right? But that's the scarcity mindset that I had, and it all came down to ignorance. My parents and my family did not expose me to other things, right? So I couldn't see past the projects. All I saw was my own little world, right? You got folks that live in the projects that don't never leave the city. I think I mentioned that in another video. I have a cousin of mine on my wife's side of the family. He went to prison, and he said that he had met some folks that had never left their city before they went to prison. They literally hanged around their projects. We're talking about folks who was in their 30s, and they had never left their home city, ever. Never traveled out their city. You can't help but have a scarcity mindset because, you know, there's so many things that you haven't seen. You haven't seen the world other than outside of watching social media and watching TV, right? And, you know, a lot of times when it comes to social media and TV, it puts out a false narrative a lot of times, right? So you have to have discernment, but you can't have discernment if you're not exposed to anything, right? So this scarcity mindset that black folks have really holds us back as a culture. It really holds us back as a people. It really does, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Democratic Party wants you to stay with that scarcity mindset. They do. This is not a political post. I'm just, you know, putting it out there or whatever. Like when you look at the policies of Democrats, they want you to stay in a scarcity mindset. They want you to be fearful. So anyways, I'm going to read some things about scarcity mindset, right? Because I want to be able to actually, like, you know, give a spiel on this and actually, like, you know, help folks understand the reason behind scarcity mindset, right? So actually, I lost the page now, so it's okay. I believe I remember the four parts to it. So the one of them is possessiveness, and what I mean is basically we hold on to things and we don't want to give things away. We don't want to give our resources away because we feel like we give our resources away, that we will not be able to get those resources back, right? One of the points they said was like envy, anger, jealousy, right? Just a whole bunch of bad emotions and a whole bunch of bad concepts that comes along with having a scarcity mindset. Like I said, fear is one of them, definitely, because you're always fearing that you can't pay things or you can't get the things you need. Not the things you want, but the things you actually need. And that's a bad way to be. It really is. A lot of times we put ourselves in this position to where we have a scarcity mindset, but I gotta be honest, you know, anybody that's been raised in poverty, it is extremely hard to break that scarcity mindset. It really is. I know black folks right now to this day that make six figures. Actually, I know a handful that make seven figures personally. And listen to the way they talk. Sometimes they still have a scarcity mindset. They still are fearful of money, even though they have a business, even though they have, you know, residual income resources that they can pull on. But their mindset hasn't changed yet. It's like they cannot grasp the concept they are financially free. So they're still fearful of what tomorrow's going to bring. Now I understand the concept of, you know, you make sure that you put things in place so if things fall off, you got other resources to follow, and I totally get that. But that's not what I'm talking about with these guys. These folks actually literally are extremely fearful and terrified about money, even though they're millionaires. And it all boils down to how they was raised and how their mindset was trained, right? They can't break it. Even though they have the skill set to make money, you know, they put the work in to build a business. They have degrees. I mean, these folks are not idiots. These folks are really, really smart. But that scarcity mindset is still there because they cannot break it, right? For whatever reason, regardless of how much money they make, it's like their scarcity mindset worsens even more, right? These folks can be multimillionaires, and I think their mindset will still be that way. Lord forbid if it is. I hope they get counseling or, you know, be able to talk to a mentor to break that mentality. But I can see it, you know what I'm saying? I know a scarcity mindset when I see it. And I know for myself, I had a scarcity mindset for a very long time. But, you know, these days, I know that one day I'll be a millionaire. I know this. Like, there's no doubt about that at all. I know for a fact that one day I'm going to be a millionaire. I know I will. And the thing is that, you know, when you change how you think and you change your outlook on the world and on your environment as a whole, like it unlocks a whole bunch of other things that are accessible to you. But the scarcity mindset keeps your mind locked up. Really, it keeps your mind in a cage. It really does, because you cannot see past your situation. And when you can't see past your situation and you don't have faith in yourself, then all it's going to do is just going to cause your scarcity mentality to just be enforced even more and more and more. You got folks that wake up every single morning, got $1,000 in the bank, all their bills are paid, right? They don't have any extra expenses that they're worried about, and they have anxiety. Like they literally feel like that this $100,000 that's in my bank is going to go away tomorrow for some crazy reason. Just fearful about money. And it's like, my thing is one of the reasons why I made myself, I trained myself not to have the mentality anymore is because once I started making good money, I'm like, what's the point of having anxiety about money when I can't take the money with me when I die? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm going to sit out here and splurge money. I'm just saying, like, what's the purpose of making a lot of money when you can't enjoy it? And you can't enjoy money if you have a scarcity mindset. You can't enjoy money if you're always scared about money. You're fearful about money, right? So what's the solution to this? So one of the solutions is that you have to believe in yourself, right? You have to believe in yourself that once you attain a certain status, once you attain a certain amount of money, that you can build on that and actually make more money over and over and over again, right? You have to believe in yourself. Another thing is that if you have a family, you can't afford to have a scarcity mindset, right? Because for one, it's not that I'm saying that you should go out there and be reckless with your money and be like, okay, well, I got the money, I'm going to spend it, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that having a scarcity mindset with a family is going to hold your family back from building wealth, right? You have to put yourself in a mental state where you can see into the future. You can see 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you can see yourself in a better position where you're in right now. And you have to make a plan. That's another thing that's going to help you with a scarcity mindset. Have a plan with what you're going to do with your success. Have a plan what you're going to do with your money, right? You can't be out here running around with a whole bunch of money in the bank without a plan, and then that money is going to just stay there. It's not. If you have access to it, you're going to spend it. So you have to have a plan, right? So that there's all kind of ways for you to actually break this mental state, this scarcity mindset. But once again, it's extremely hard to break, especially if you was raised in a very impoverished environment like I was. But I'm telling you, one of the main reasons, the main ways how I've actually killed this scarcity mindset is that once I started making a lot of money, I just had faith. That I was going to make more. I just knew this. And, as an example of that, once I retired and I became a government contractor, I started off making pretty good money. Actually, my goal was at the time was to make enough money to break even what I was making in the Army. I didn't want my lifestyle to change. I didn't want my family's lifestyle to change. So my whole thing was that I needed to make enough money to where I'm getting my base pay, I'm getting the housing allowance I was getting, and I need to have making enough money to cover the full allowance I was getting. Right? I wanted to make exactly my paycheck that I was making in the Army once I left the Army. And even though my base pay wasn't all that much, when you factor in my housing allowance because of this DMV area, right? Because the cost of living is pretty high here, and then counting the food allowance, it was a lot of money, right? It really was. I wasn't balling, but I was close to six figures when you factor in all three of those things: my base pay, my housing allowance, and my food allowance. I was making really close to six figures in the Army, right? And I said to myself that I need to break even. I need to make enough money to get to compensate for what I was not going to make in the Army after I retired, right? And I got the job, and I made 10 grand over what I was making in the Army. From that point on, I have jumped to 4 different jobs after that. Right now, I'm at my 5th job. I've increased my income every single time I left a job. Now, I'm not going to say how much I've increased it, but I've increased my income every single time I left the job. Because what I did was, I knew I had leverage. I knew I had the skill set. I knew I had the degrees. I knew I had the certifications. So every time I negotiated a job and went to an interview, I asked intentionally for more money. And I told them that if I didn't get it, I was going to move on to somebody else. And every single time I asked for more money, they gave it to me. Not having a scarcity mindset, making sure that I ask for what I deserve, asking for what my skill set deserves, right? And that's one of the ways you can kill a scarcity mindset. So my black people, to wrap this video up, having a scarcity mindset is going to hold you back, right? So we need to destroy that scarcity mindset and have an abundance mindset. God said that he wanted us to live life more abundantly, right? That's what he said in the Bible. That's what God said. So let's do what God said and let's live life more abundantly, all right? So you want me to discuss a topic or a subject you think is benefit to the channel, email me at findingfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is in the description below. And also, don't forget about the vest for Volley. The link is in the description below. It's HOG, signing out. I'm gone.